Prepare to be surprised. Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 things you didn't know about One Day at a Time.
How dare you stereotype us?
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at fun facts related to the Netflix original series One Day at a Time.
Man, I'm glad I'm a guy so I don't have to think about sexism.
Number 10. It's not a reboot.
Danny just won first prize for biology. That's the one that works.
Rebooting shows from the 80s and 90s is all the rage these days. One Day at a Time, which is based on a sitcom of the same name that aired from 1975 to 1984, decided to take a different approach.
Thank you. Next time I'll Skype you.
Dubbed a reimagining, the show takes inspiration from the original, while infusing it with new life thanks to a primarily Latino cast. The plots and characters have been updated to accommodate the new approach.
We have an air conditioner.
You never let us turn it on.
The point is you could, but don't ever touch that thing.
The only holdover from the original series is Schneider. However, aside from the name and the fact that both characters live in the building, they're completely different characters.
See, I consider myself a feminist, so I don't know. Oh, that kind of man, got it.
Number 9. Norman Lear is involved. TV producer Norman Lear has had a hand in crafting some of the medium's most iconic programs. All in the Family, The Jeffersons, and Sanford and Son are just some of the shows he's developed, in addition to the original One Day at a Time.
All right, Mom. I wanted to come back.
And despite being in his late 90s, Lear is still going strong in the industry in the 2010s, serving as an executive producer on the new iteration of One Day at a Time.
Ooh, I'm gonna take my earrings off. Because it's about to go down.
As such, the show is packed with Learisms and follows his formula of deftly combining comedy and drama to maximum effect.
So are we good?
Yes.
Boom.
Yeah, I don't do that. I do this.
Number 8. The characters are inspired by real people.
We have a problem.
One Day at a Time may not be a reboot, but the characters had to come from somewhere, right? To achieve a stronger sense of realism in how the characters behaved, Norman Lear told showrunners Mike Royce and Gloria Calderon-Kellett to draw on their own personal experiences.
I learned to do the contouring on the YouTube.
While developing Rita Moreno's character, Kellett used her own mother for inspiration, while Royce used his children, who happened to be around the same ages as the kids on the show.
He should be dating a hot girl who got held back a grade, not you.
To this, he pointed out that, quote, they're old enough where they're sort of weirdly flattered, but also scared. We would be too if our dad was mining our home life for ideas for his TV show.
Oh, hey, Josh. Alex Alvarez. Sorry, I'm a mess.
Number 7. The show never mentions Donald Trump by name.
I mean, what the hell? This is America.
Yep, this is America. And unfortunately, this stuff happens here. Not to you, but it happens.
Despite taking on issues like racism and immigration regularly, One Day at a Time's writers have made it a point not to mention Trump by name.
You said go back to Mexico.
While it would be easy to take potshots at the president, whose aggressive stances on both aforementioned topics have been well documented, Calderon-Kellett has held back.
Once at a baseball game, the other team was leaving on their bus, and he saw me and yelled, "Build the wall."
The reasoning for this is twofold, and comes with the stipulation that your tongue remained glued to your cheek. For starters, the writers have no way of knowing whether or not Trump will still be in office by the time an episode airs, what with his numerous legal problems.
Yeah, and ever since somebody decided to call an entire group of Latinos rapists and criminals, everyone thinks they can say whatever racist thought occurs to them.
Second, Trump says and does an inordinate number of things every week, making it impossible for the show to keep up while remaining topical.
We want peace, equality, and most of all, no crappy kid yelling racist stuff at my son while he's trying to learn about stars.
Number 6. Netflix trolled Roseanne by promoting One Day at a Time. In May of 2018, Roseanne Barr, star of the ABC sitcom Roseanne, posted a tweet deemed highly racist about former Barack Obama's senior advisor, Valerie Jarrett. ABC was quick to condemn Barr's comments, with network president Channing Dungey calling them, quote, abhorrent, repugnant, and inconsistent with our values, before canceling Roseanne.
I thought you were dead.
Sleeping.
In response, Netflix posted the following advertisement. Reminder, One Day at a Time is a sitcom about a tight-knit, working-class family that tackles extremely topical social issues in a smart and innovative way. You know, if you're suddenly looking for a show like that. The tweet was played off the fact that both shows had a similar premise, but that One Day at a Time was, you know, still airing.
Yeah, it was a very poor choice of words.
Number 5, there's plenty of Latin representation.
Is it weird we're dancing at a funeral? It's a Latino funeral. It'd be weird if we weren't dancing.
Representation matters. It matters because Latinos have for far too long been portrayed on screen in only a handful of ways. One Day at a Time prides itself on its diversity, both on screen and off. Stars Isabella Gomez and Rita Moreno are from Colombia and Puerto Rico respectively, and most of the other cast members are of Hispanic descent.
La Diabla at my house? She will never make it past that cross.
The show is equally diverse behind the scenes, featuring writers from Mexico, Central America, and the Caribbean, as well as members of the LGBTQ+ community. It's not 12 white guys in a room, says showrunner Mike Royce.
And I'll have you know, I was invited to several pride parades.
Number 4, Mackenzie Phillips is the only cast member from the original to have a cameo.
I'm gonna take a wild guess. Boys, right? No, they're camels.
Actress Mackenzie Phillips made a name for herself in the 70s and 80s playing Julie Cooper Horvath on the original One Day at a Time. In 2017, she became the first member of the original cast to appear on the reimagined version of the show.
I was at the movies. Another remake. Well, I mean, it was nothing like the original, but I like them both.
Phillips plays Pam Valentine, the leader of a support group for veterans with PTSD that Penelope Alvarez attends in season 1.
Our session ended 15 minutes ago. Thank you all for coming.
Phillips may be the only OG One Day at a Time cast member to have a cameo, but her former co-star Michael Lembeck, who played her on-screen husband Max Horvath, directed the season 1 episode Sex Talk.
My baby's watching porn. My sweet boy is becoming a gross man.
Number 3, it's inspiring more Latino-focused TV series.
I can't believe you lied.
I am the mom. I'm allowed to lie.
And I'm the mom's mom, and I get to lie even more.
Due to its continued success, One Day at a Time has paved the way for a wave of new Latino-centric shows. Viewers can expect a Party of 5 reimagining in 2019 that will focus on 5 Mexican-American children who must learn to cope after their parents are deported.
Did you ever think about them, Bailey?
Yeah, of course I do.
Additionally, an English-language remake of the Spanish series Gran Hotel will premiere on ABC in June of 2019.
Dad, you sold the hotel?
The show is partially developed by Eva Longoria, and the Tejano actress will serve as a producer. 2019 promises to be a big year for Latino representation on the small screen.
A hotel is failing. It's a money pit.
We're gonna pay back the bank.
It's not the bank we owe.
Number 2, Rita Moreno had a specific request for her character.
It's called passion!
Despite playing a grandmother on One Day at a Time, actress Rita Moreno, who is in her 80s, demanded that her character be sexual.
It's time to dance!
The actress, whose character is a Cuban refugee who escaped to America after Fidel Castro seized power, claims that she told the showrunners that just because she's old or older does not mean that all of that good stuff goes away. We aren't sure if she's talking about herself or her on-screen counterpart, but seeing as how it's a topic that's rarely depicted on TV in a serious way, we're all for it.
Wait. Were you two on a date?
Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions.
I did not expect to cry this much in an award show. It's usually because I lose.
Sorry. I don't know where these stereotypes come from.
Don't you worry, no. We'll just take it like it comes. One day at a time.
Number 1, there's a strong attention to detail.
Lydia, you need to eat.
You would make a good Cuban mother.
As previously mentioned, the One Day at a Time writers' room is one of television's most diverse. With a vast array of knowledge at their disposal, they've managed to create a show that doesn't skimp when it comes to making things as authentic as possible. For instance, Lydia's love of the perfume Agua de Violetas is a shout out to something real Cuban mothers used to make their babies smell good.
The rice and the frijoles are in the pickle jar. And the lechon is in the butter tub. The cookies are in the cookie tin, but they're not the same cookies that came with the tin.
The show is littered with tiny winks and nods to Latino and Hispanic culture, ones that Vanity Fair writer Laura Bradley says, quote, are a crucial component of the show's delicate high-wire act, one that must be maintained so that the show remains accessible to mainstream audiences while continuing to cater to their Latino base.
Alex, you have something on your chain. You need a Latinx.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from MsMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.